Hey there, I'm Steve.
And I'm Jen.
And we are the Road Less Traveled. And today we're talking to you about memberships. Jen?
Now, when we first got started planning, which was a little over a year ago, there were a lot of different memberships out there. And I remember Steve coming with a few of them, and I'm like, I don't really understand them, and it feels like, am I going to get my money's worth? So that's why we want to talk to you about it today. And how we're going to structure today's video is, first thing is our favorite memberships, and then some that we have that we use semi-regularly. And then we're going to talk about two memberships that we actually don't have, but you may want to check out, and we may get them in the future. Let's start with our favorite. Harvest Hosts. Now, if you don't know what Harvest Hosts are, they are a group of farms, wineries, breweries, museums that will let you stay for one night at no charge, but it is expected that you'll go in and purchase something from that business. And it is $70-something a year. And maybe Steve can put the exact price because I forget every time, even though it just renewed. About $70 a year, and we have stayed and haven't added it up in quite a few campsites for free. And why it's my favorite, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Steve, is that we have had the most amazing experiences at Harvest Host. I don't think we've had, there's one we couldn't get level at, but it wasn't their fault, it was ours. We've had amazing experiences, from a winery in New Mexico with these gorgeous fall leaves, to the one in Utah that had buffalo, like right next to us, with a fence, of course. So just amazing experiences.
You stole the two I was going to say.
I'm sure there's a few more.
Those are most recent memory. New Mexico was beautiful. We hit that winery at the perfect time in the fall. The leaves were all yellow and great. And then in Utah at that, was it Preserve?
Yeah, the American West Heritage Center.
American West Heritage Center. The views there were probably the best we've seen, and like she said, the buffalo. Like, the experiences you get are just awesome, and they really work perfectly as kind of an in-between stop. So if you have, like, say, we generally go like 3 to 4 hours a day. So if you have like a 8-hour ride to a destination that you want to get to, it's awesome to be able to stop and find a Harvest Host somewhere roundabouts on the way, and go there for one night and then continue on to more of your destination location.
Right. And so we have two small kids, and they've always been entertained at these places. They love the wineries because they get grape juice, and at the breweries they get soda, so that's usually like a big treat for them. But it's nice because we can have a drink or two and not have to worry about driving. We can just walk back over to our rig. So the wineries have been nice, the breweries. Like I said, I don't think we've had any bad experiences. I mean, there are sometimes you stay in like a parking lot, which isn't a big deal. We stayed in a parking lot or two, but it was fine. And most of them are dry camping. Some of them have electric for a fee, but typically you expect to dry camp.
I highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Yes, get it. And they run sales sometimes, but really for $70 a year. So we need to count out how many we've actually used, but fantastic, highly, highly endorse it. And they don't give us anything for saying that, but if they want to, they can. So just if you're listening, Harvest Host. All right, the next one I have is RV Life.
Yes, it's RV Trip Wizard and RV Life integrated. I think RV Life is free, but if you want to integrate RV Trip Wizard and use RV Trip Wizard, you have to pay, how much is it?
I have to look it up too. So it's $60-something. That also, everything's starting to renew right now, but we'll put it on the screen how much it was.
Yeah, we use it to plan out our trip, and then when we're in the car, we pull up what we planned out in RV Trip Wizard, and we click the next destination, and it fills into the GPS, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, so two things. I use it for planning. So all of our trip, our last 2020 trip from Alabama to Montana and then back through, I hope you can show this instead of me doing this on the, down to Florida and back to Alabama, plan the whole trip through RV Trip Wizard, and then as Steve said, he used it for the GPS. Now I am curious if you all, I know there's other GPS systems. If you use other ones, please put it in the comments, because I'm sure there's other ones. This is just the one that we like. I've said it in past videos. There's only a couple times it has really screwed us a little bit with the time. They said it was going to be 3 hours originally, but when I put it into the GPS, it was 6 hours. But if few and far between. Just saying, it happens, but overall, that's what we use.
The fact that it integrates with RV Trip Wizard is nice, and like all RV safe GPSs, you can put in the height of your rig, so it knows to route you to on routes that you won't be going under an overpass that can potentially knock off your roof. So that's always nice. It's not the perfect GPS. It's not as good as Google Maps, but Google Maps doesn't have that feature to where you can put in the height of your rig, so it's not really an option if you're concerned about that. Now, if you know you're going to be on interstate most of the way, then you can probably use Google Maps for a little while. But
we've done that occasionally when we know it's safe, but back roads.
But we're on the back roads. We definitely use an RV safe GPS.
Yes, so that's the second one we recommend. I don't know if these are getting in order. I'm going to say, as far as return on investment, Boondockers Welcome has been one of those things. You pay $50 a year, and Boondockers Welcome is where you can stay on someone's property. So people with enough space will have, you can just stay a night, sometimes up to 5 nights. It just depends. There's usually a maximum length of your rig, and then a maximum nights that you can stay. Generally about 3 to 5 nights. I got that. I bought it, and then we ended up making our money back really the next night. So if you're paying for a campground that's $50, a night, you make your money back on the first night. So I thought it was a great return on investment. I think we've used at least 4 to 5 nights on Boondockers Welcome. We intend to use it more, but we've already gotten our money back. So I think it was a good investment.
I mean, if I had to choose between the two, I'd rather choose Harvest Hosts. But Boondockers Welcome has been nice too, in locations where we either didn't have a Harvest Host that we could stay in, or if we wanted to stay more than one night. Harvest Host is 1 night. Boondockers Welcome is variable, but I think up to maybe 5 nights.
Yeah, 3 to 5. And so when we were coming back from New Mexico to Raleigh, I plotted the course, the route, and I looked both Harvest Host and looked both Boondockers Welcome to see what was available. I have found with Boondockers Welcome, some of them have a max rig length of 20 feet, and ours is 32, so some of them don't work. But like I said, as far as return on investment for $50, we've already made our money back, so I think it's completely worth it. Now I'm gonna let Steve talk about FullTime Families, because he actually joined it, and he can talk about it more than I can.
So FullTime Families is a group for people who have families and they are full-time in their RVs.
It seems self-explanatory. Okay, sorry.
And in terms of benefit, our main benefit is that we've been able to connect with some other people. And we actually, in Moab, met up with a group of people from FullTime Families. They had kids, some kids around the ages of our kids, and we had a good time with them. Good people, and they have rallies and stuff. But because of COVID, we haven't really been able to do that yet. But hopefully, when we can, we'll be able to go and meet up with more families at the rallies.
Yeah, and they're starting some of the rallies back, and I think I've looked at them, but they're not anywhere where we're going to be. But how much is FullTime Families?
No idea.
All right, again, we'll put it right down here. We're hoping to get more involved. We just haven't.
I'll say $60 a year, since that's what we keep saying.
But we'll put it right there, right here, I guess. 1,000 Trails. I'm not going to go into too much detail because we have a whole video on 1,000 Trails, but we paid $5.99 for 1,000 Trails. We haven't quite made our money back yet. We stayed in Florida for 11 nights on 1,000 Trails. So we've got one zone, and when we go to Texas, we'll add on that zone, and then when we go out west, we'll add that zone. And it's $99 each zone you add. There's a ton of different rules and regulations. It's confusing. It hasn't paid off yet, but I think it will.
It would have paid off. It's just that we've been stuck here with our rig being worked on. So we haven't been able to go out and use it yet, but I'm pretty sure we will in Texas.
Yeah, when we go to Texas, I'm sure we'll get our money's worth. That's definitely one, if you can understand the rules and where it's just confusing, but it could definitely be beneficial. We know a lot of the FullTime Families that we met up with in Moab said that they use it all the time and it's worth it for them, and I think it will pay off. It's just a heavy investment up front, but you can make your money back pretty soon after if you're smart about it, which we haven't been. The only other ones, I've seen this a little bit on the forums. We still have our AAA membership, and we've had it. We've had AAA for a long time. It always ends up working out when we were in our sticks and bricks that we had a battery failure. We needed to be towed, so we just kept it, and it paid off semi recently.
I'm thinking we used it, but I can't remember when.
You're joking, right?
No.
It's when we almost ran out of gas.
Oh yeah. That was AAA. Okay.
Steve, you have to link that video up. There was a minor, discrepancy in our outlook on that situation, that we didn't technically run out of gas, but AAA had to come bring us some diesel. So take what you will from that.
We might have made it to the next place, but we just let AAA come do their job.
That's it. We just wanted to help AAA out. And it's nominal, so we've just kept it. We're going to continue to keep it. Good Sam. We joined Good Sam at the get-go too. Again, have no idea how much it is. That's why I'm hoping Steve can put all of these on the video below.
Do we have roadside assistance with them too?
With Good Sam?
Yeah.
I think so.
We might have double roadside assistance.
Well, I don't know. See.
But we need Good Sam mostly for the discounts, because lots of campgrounds, if you tell them you're a Good Sam member, they give you a discount.
Yeah, it's only 10%. I don't know. It's not as clear that you're getting that big of a discount, but get 10% here and there. It's probably made it back. It just doesn't feel like it's. Some people love it. I'd love to hear what you think if you've made use of a Good Sam. I've run across a campground, I think in Wyoming, who said, we're not Good Sam official because you have to pay like $4,000 as a campground to get to Good Sam, but they give us a discount anyway. It helps. I guess.
Pretty sure it's paid for itself.
Yeah, it's
At
just harder to
10%.
track. It's harder to track. And since we started staying at other places that we didn't really need it, the Good Sam discount. We used it early in our RV trip. All right, 2 more. The Campgrounds of America, the old KOA. Some of you love it, some of you hate it, but regardless, you're probably going to stay in one along the way. And we ended up staying in a handful or so, maybe more than that. But we stayed at West Glacier KOA right outside of Glacier National Park. And that's $86 a night, and you get their 10% discount, then that makes a difference. So it just depends on how much you're going to use a KOA. It was worth it for us to pay, and I think it was like $30. I'm looking at you. He doesn't know. But again, we'll put it right here.
I thought it was more than that, but
I don't think so. And then the last one is a National Park Pass. We ended up getting that in Badlands. We went through the Badlands. It's $80 for an annual pass to all the national parks. And if you're going to go to national parks, get it, because otherwise it's I think $30 a day to get into the national parks. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. And we ended up just to Glacier and Badlands, and that was enough. So definitely get the national park pass. Just knowing that state parks are not included in that, so you might have to get a state park pass if you're going to spend time in the state parks in whatever state you're in. All right, so 2 memberships we do not have, and just want to mention, because I think some people I know have mentioned it in prior comments, Passport America. And you pay a fee, and most of the campgrounds are half off. They're cheap, they're like $20. It's just a matter of finding the campgrounds. Are the campgrounds good enough for you, depending on what you care about star-wise? But I know when we did a prior video, someone said they only do Passport America, and it's like $20. She said she doesn't camp for more than $20 a night because she uses Passport America. So it can be a good way to go. We just haven't found a use for it yet, but may.
A lot of these, we buy them when we are able to use them. Yeah. Like Thousand Trails, we knew we were going to go to Florida. We were going to be in Wildwood for a lengthy amount of time. So we were like, okay, we'll buy 1,000 Trails then, because it's annual. So figure might as well get it as late as possible.
Yeah, and then we didn't anticipate our rig repairs taking 3 months. So we thought we'd be already in Texas by now using Thousand Trails there. Now the other one I know nothing about, and you probably know more than I do about it. The Escapers.
I think it's Escapees, and they have a subgroup called the Escapers. I'm not positive, but I think that's how it goes. And the escapees are for people of retirement age, and the escapers are people who are not of retirement age. So younger people with families, but not necessarily with families. And some people from Full-Time Families who we met are also members of escapers, I believe that's what it's called. And they said it was pretty good. They had a bash, I think it was before COVID, and they loved it. Met a lot of people there.
Yeah, so it's a great way when you're RVing. It can get a little bit lonely, especially if you were a family, if you don't meet up with other families with kids, it can be a little bit lonely. So I think if you're looking for socialization, then escapees, escapers, whatever it's called, could be good for you. Same with Full-Time Families if you have kids. But those are the memberships that we have used, and then a few that we have heard of but haven't used. So please comment below. Let us know your favorite membership, and also what memberships are we missing. Maybe we're missing out on some great stuff, Steve, and we just have no idea.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because we're going to be back on the road very soon. And yeah, any memberships that we should get a hold of now, let us know.
Also, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you have not already done so and you would like to, please hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, thanks
That's
for
it.
watching.
Thank you.